Welcome back. Today we're going through 15 relationship disasters, awkward moments, cheating stories, and all the chaos Reddit loves to deliver. I've got Minecraft running in the background right now, and I'm actually working on my basement while telling you these stories. If you want more episodes like this, make sure to like the video, subscribe, and drop a comment with your favorite story, or leave timestamps of your favorite moments. All right, let's get into story one. So, this one was posted on r/off my chest, and it's written by a girl who's genuinely still recovering from what happened. It's embarrassing in a way that sticks to your bones. I'm 19, and last week something happened that I can't stop thinking about. I was visiting my boyfriend at his parents' house. I've been there 100 times. His parents know me well. They're always friendly. Nothing weird ever happened before. We went upstairs to his room to watch something, just hang out. And yeah, things started getting a little more intimate. It wasn't planned, it just kind of happened. The door was closed, the hallway was quiet, everything seemed safe. And then the door opened. Not slowly, not aggressively, just suddenly. A normal, casual door opened, as if someone wanted to ask a simple question. His dad walked in. And because the universe clearly hates me, we happened to be in a position that looked 10 times worse than anything we've ever done. The kind of position you can't explain away, not even if you tried. I screamed. My boyfriend panicked. His dad just froze for a second, said a very soft, "Oh, sorry," and closed the door again. And I swear I heard him breathe out on the other side like he was trying to reset his brain. We didn't move for a long moment. We didn't even speak. The room felt like it collapsed in on itself. The shame hit so hard I could feel it in my fingertips. My boyfriend kept saying, "Oh my God, oh my God," and I wanted to disappear. Not metaphorically, I genuinely wanted to evaporate. Eventually I had to go downstairs because my hands were shaking and I needed water. His dad was sitting at the kitchen table pretending to scroll on his phone. He didn't look at me. He didn't look at his son. He didn't look anywhere near the staircase. He just said a quiet "hey." He was hoping the conversation would end before it even started. His mom instantly felt the tension but didn't know why. She kept glancing at all of us, like she was trying to figure out what was in the air. That night I went home and genuinely couldn't sleep. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw the door opening again. My boyfriend texted me the next morning that his dad left for work way earlier than normal. Didn't even make coffee, just grabbed his stuff and left. I know he's embarrassed too, but the way he avoided me made me feel even worse. Since then, every time I visit, I check the door twice, lock it, and I still get nervous when I hear footsteps. I know we didn't do anything wrong, but the timing was unforgiving. I feel awkward around his dad now, and I don't know how long it'll take before we can act normal again. I just needed to tell someone, because holding it in was making it worse. It's such a stupid thing, but it genuinely messed with me. I keep thinking, why that moment? Why that position? Why did the universe pick that exact second to open the damn door? Maybe years from now we'll laugh, but right now, I cringe so hard I feel it in my whole body. And moments like this don't seem huge from the outside, but when you're young, when you're still figuring out intimacy, and when someone's parent walks in at the absolute worst possible moment, it can shake your confidence more than you expect. What makes this story so rough is the realism. No jokes, no exaggeration, just genuine embarrassment, and two people trying to pretend everything is normal, while both of them are dying inside. You can tell she's not dramatic. She's embarrassed because she respects his family, because she wants them to see her as more than the girl they accidentally walked in on. And the dad's reaction says everything. He's not angry. He's not weird. He's just uncomfortable in a very human way. He doesn't know where to look, how to act, or how to erase the mental screenshot his brain took without his consent. And honestly, that's probably the worst part for all of them. There's no villain here. Just a really unlucky moment that will live rent-free in everyone's head for at least the next decade. And the fact she still can't relax around him makes total sense. She's young, she cares about her reputation, and she wants to be seen as a normal person, not as the memory he's trying hard to forget. Give it time. These things fade. Eventually someone will make an awkward joke, or the dad will accidentally break a glass, or something else will happen, and the tension will shift to a new embarrassing moment. But for now, absolutely brutal. This next one comes from r/relationships, And the girl who posted it sounds genuinely confused, embarrassed, and a little scared she's imagining things. But honestly, you'll see why she's not. I, 22 female, have been with my boyfriend, 23, for almost 2 years. We've had ups and downs like everyone, but nothing major. Lately though, something has been bothering me, and I feel stupid even typing this out. It's about his cousin. She's 21, they grew up pretty close, and she recently moved back to town for university. Ever since she came back, my boyfriend has been spending a lot of time with her. Way more than feels normal. At first it was cute. He talked about her like a little sister, said he missed having her around, that kind of thing. They'd go get coffee, study together, watch movies, nothing weird. But then it started becoming almost daily. He'd cancel on me because she had a bad day. He'd leave my place early because she needed help with something. One time we were supposed to have a date night, and he bailed 10 minutes before because she didn't want to eat alone. I didn't say anything then because I didn't want to come off jealous or insecure. But last week things got strange. We were all at a family gathering. His cousin came straight up to him, hugged him for way too long, then stayed glued to his side the entire night. She sat next to him, leaned on his shoulder, whispered stuff in his ear, and laughed in this way that made the whole room look over. And he didn't push her away. He seemed comfortable, too comfortable. At one point, she even grabbed his arm and rested her head on it, in front of everyone, including me. I tried to tell myself I was imagining it, that some families are just affectionate, but it didn't feel like family affection. It felt like something else, something I shouldn't even be thinking. When we left, I asked him as calmly as I could if he thought maybe the way she acted looked a bit off. He instantly got defensive, said I was being disrespectful, that she's like a sister, and that I needed to get my head straight. I shut up because I didn't want to fight. 2 days ago, it got worse. I came over unexpectedly because I left my charger at his place. When I walked in, his cousin was sitting on his bed wearing his hoodie, playing on his phone while he cooked for her in the kitchen. She looked surprised when she saw me, not guilty, just annoyed, like I was interrupting something. She didn't even say hi. My boyfriend just acted normal, but the energy in the room was so tense I felt like I was intruding in someone else's home. And last night I found out they've been going on late night drives to talk. But he never mentioned that to me. I don't think he's cheating. I really don't. But I can't shake the feeling that something is crossing a line. Even if nothing physical is happening, the emotional closeness is too much. I don't know how to bring this up again without sounding crazy, and I hate that it's his cousin of all people making me feel like this. I don't know what to think anymore. I don't want this to be some jealousy issue, but I honestly feel like I'm losing him to someone I shouldn't have to compete with in the first place. I just need someone to tell me if I'm seeing things or if this is genuinely weird, because every part of me feels like something isn't right, but I'm scared to trust that instinct. This one is tricky because at first glance it's easy to say they're cousins, relax. But when you look at the behavior, the frequency, the emotional energy, the defensiveness, it stops being innocent. Affection is normal, bonding is normal, but replacement is not. When a partner starts canceling dates, hiding hangouts, getting defensive immediately, and building an emotional bubble with someone else, even if that someone else is family, it crosses into territory that hurts. What really stands out is her intuition. She's not angry, she's not accusing, she's not dramatic. She's confused. And confusion usually comes from boundaries being broken slowly, not in obvious ways, but through a pattern that feels off. The cousin wearing his hoodie, sitting on his bed, acting irritated when the girlfriend walked in. That's not just closeness, that's territorial energy. And his reaction makes it worse. He didn't reassure her. He didn't set boundaries. He defended his cousin harder than he defended the relationship. No one is saying there's something romantic going on. The point is this: if someone outside the relationship, family or not, becomes the emotional priority, becomes the comfort, becomes the person he runs to, the person he protects, the person he chooses, then the dynamic is broken. For a relationship to work, both people need to feel seen, valued, and included. She doesn't. And she's not imagining. I found this post on r/workplace, I think. It's one of those stories where nothing technically happens, but every small detail makes you uncomfortable before you even understand why. I'm 20, and I just started my first real job 3 months ago. I liked it at first. It felt good to be somewhere professional, to actually feel like an adult. My boss is 45. He's the kind of guy everyone says is great to work with. Always joking, always playing the supportive mentor. I thought it was harmless. But over time, he started paying attention to me in a way that didn't feel like normal workplace stuff. He'd come to my desk even when he didn't need anything. He'd stand a little too close when explaining something, close enough that I had to lean away without making it obvious. When I'd talk in meetings, he'd stare at me longer than he stared at anyone else. Not inappropriate, just a little too focused. He started giving me tasks no one else got. You've got potential. You pick things up fast. I like how you think. I know compliments aren't a crime, but the way he delivered them felt personal. And every time I tried to step back emotionally, he'd find a way to pull me closer professionally. Last week, he asked me to stay after hours to help finish a client presentation. I said yes because everyone else was already gone and I didn't want to make a bad impression. When I walked into his office, the lights were dim and he had music playing quietly. Something slow, something that didn't belong in a work building at 7 p.m. We worked for the first 20 minutes, then he started talking about career paths, about how women my age don't realize how powerful a first impression can be, about how connections matter more than talent, about how some people get ahead faster when someone important believes in them. He said it casually, but he looked at me while saying it. Directly, too directly. He didn't touch me. He didn't say anything explicit, but it felt like he was waiting for me to respond in a way that would open a door he'd been trying to push for weeks. I left early, pretending I had a headache. A few days later, I mentioned his name to my dad by accident. My dad paused and asked me to repeat it. Then he said, "I used to know him." Just that, short sentence, neutral tone. But something in his face changed. Not anger, not fear, just recognition. The kind where you remember exactly what kind of person someone is. I asked what he meant. He shook his head and said, "Just be smart. He pays attention for reasons." And he didn't explain anything else. Now I can feel it every time my boss stops by my desk. Every time he lets a silence hang before talking. Every time he accidentally finds a reason for us to stay late. He's not clumsy or unaware. He's deliberate. He knows exactly how far to go without crossing a line you could report. I'm scared to say something because I need this job. But I'm also scared of what happens if I keep pretending nothing is happening. I hate that this is my first real experience in the working world, and it already feels like something I need to escape from. What makes this situation so dark is that he hasn't said anything you can call HR about. He hasn't crossed a physical line. He's doing what a lot of experienced men do when they want something but don't want consequences, building an emotional atmosphere where she feels chosen, obligated, special, and trapped all at once. That's not mentorship. That's pressure disguised as opportunity. And her dad's reaction? That quiet recognition says more than any dramatic warning. He didn't need to tell her stories. Just one sentence was enough to show he's seen this pattern before. She's not imagining things. She's being targeted. Slowly, carefully, by someone who knows exactly how much he can get away with. This one showed up on r/true off my chest, and the girl who wrote it is stuck in a situation that feels wrong on every level. I'm 24 and I've been with my boyfriend for almost 3 years. I always trusted him. He's calm, consistent, not the type to flirt around or do anything shady. That's what I thought at least. A few months ago, he got a new coworker. She's 27, married, pretty, confident, the kind of person who can walk into any room and instantly get attention without trying. At first, I didn't think anything of it. He mentioned her maybe once or twice. But slowly, her name started showing up more and more. She's really smart. She's funny. You'd like her. She reminds me of you. I shrugged it off because I didn't want to be the jealous girlfriend. Then he started staying late. Not every night, but enough for me to notice the pattern. He texts me, "We're behind on a project," or "She asked me to help her with something." I told myself it was work, Adults stay late, right? But then there were little things that felt off. One night we were on the couch together and his phone lit up. It was her. 11:43 p.m. Are you still awake? He locked the screen instantly, but I saw how fast his face changed. He wasn't expecting it. I didn't say anything. A week later, I found a receipt in his jacket pocket for a restaurant we've never been to. 2 dinners, middle of the week. He told me he had a team lunch. It was at 8 p.m. Still, I kept quiet. The moment everything snapped was when she followed him on Instagram, and he accepted instantly, even though he never follows anyone new. 2 minutes later, she liked 12 of his photos in a row. He didn't say a word about it. When I asked casually, "Oh, who's that?" he got tense and said, "Just someone from work. Stop overthinking." That was the first time he raised his voice at me, ever. 2 days later, I saw a message pop up when he was in the shower. I wasn't snooping. His phone was on the counter, the screen lit up. She wrote, "Did you get home okay? I'm still thinking about what you said," with a heart. He deleted their entire chat history right after. He thinks I didn't notice. I did. I noticed everything. Last weekend was the breaking point. We were at a friend's birthday and he went outside to take a call. I followed a few minutes later because it was cold and I wanted my jacket from the car. He didn't see me. He was standing by the street talking quietly, smiling in that soft way he only ever used with me. It was her. He said no, I didn't tell her. She'd take it the wrong way. And my stomach dropped so hard I couldn't move for a second. I walked away before he turned around. I pretended I didn't hear anything. I'm not stupid. I know what emotional cheating looks like. Even if he refuses to admit anything is happening, I know he likes the attention she gives him. I know he hides things from me now. I know he talks to her in ways he never talks to me anymore. The worst part is that he still kisses me goodnight like everything's normal. He's not carrying 2 relationships in his head. One real, one he's pretending doesn't exist. I don't know if anything physical happened. I don't even need proof. The emotional part alone feels like someone slowly pulling the floor out from under me. I just don't know how to confront him without sounding like I'm begging him to choose me over her. Emotional cheating is harder to catch because there's no dramatic moment. It's the accumulation of small choices someone makes when they want someone else but still want the comfort of what they already have. He didn't slip. He didn't accidentally stay late. He built this connection, step by step, fully aware it wouldn't stop unless he let it. What makes this painful is the quietness of it. She's watching her own relationship fade in slow motion, knowing exactly what's happening but unable to grab it. She's not paranoid. She's observant. And the more she stays silent, the more he takes advantage of that silence. People think cheating starts in the body. It doesn't. It starts in the head, in the heart, in those late night messages he doesn't want her to see. And in this case, he crossed that line a long time ago. This one was posted on Am I the Asshole? And the girl writing it is torn between loyalty, faith, disgust, and the fear that she's watching her best friend turn into a person she doesn't even recognize anymore. I'm 22, female, and I've been best friends with Lena since high school. We used to do everything together. Study, church youth groups, sleepovers, all of it. I always thought she'd be the last person to cheat. She's beautiful, outgoing. Everyone thinks she's sweet. She has a boyfriend, Mark, who absolutely worships her. Genuinely worships her. He drives her everywhere, buys her flowers, helps her family with random things, even goes to church with her because it matters to her. She used to tell me she wanted to marry him. That was before everything fell apart. It started small. She began canceling plans with me last minute. Always with weird excuses. Headache, tired, have to help my mom, stuff like that. Nothing suspicious at first. Then late one night she sent me a snap from a car. The inside lights were on. She was wearing makeup. She just got ready to go out, but the car wasn't Mark's. Different seats, different console, different everything. I asked her where she was. She said just out with the girls and ended the conversation. Something felt wrong, but I tried to ignore it. A few days later, she asked me if I thought it was normal for couples to take breaks. I said, not if nothing is wrong. She brushed it off and said, I'm just thinking. That's when she started opening up in tiny pieces, complaining about Mark in ways she'd never had before. He barely lasts one round. He's always gaming. I need more excitement. None of it sounded like her. It sounded like she was trying to justify something before admitting it. Then she finally told me the truth. She admitted she'd been seeing Mark's brother behind his back. Yes, his own brother. She said it wasn't serious, just fun, and she liked the attention. I was shocked. I told her she needed to stop. She laughed and said it's not a big deal. I'm not in love with him or anything. I felt sick hearing it. Their family isn't perfect, but Mark loves her more than anything. Cheating on him with his brother? That's cruelty, not weakness. I thought it couldn't get worse. I was wrong. Last week she told me she's also messing around with her brother's best friend. She met him at a party and things just happened according to her. She kept saying she felt alive for the first time in ages, that Mark was too soft and she wanted someone more aggressive, someone who didn't treat her like a fragile princess. She said it in this tone like she was proud of it. Cheating twice made her interesting. I froze. I didn't recognize the person in front of me. This wasn't the girl who used to pray with me before big exams. This wasn't the girl who cried when she thought she disappointed her parents. This was someone completely different. And then came the worst twist. My boyfriend knows Mark. They go to the same gym. And after hearing all this, I couldn't keep it to myself anymore. I told my boyfriend everything, not in a dramatic way, but because I couldn't let a man who's doing nothing wrong get blindsided like that. My boyfriend told Mark. I didn't want him to, but I also didn't stop him. And when he did, Mark broke down. He didn't even get angry, he just looked heartbroken. For days, I didn't hear from either of them. Then 2 weeks later, I got an update from my boyfriend. Mark is doing better, a lot better. He started going to church with them, my boyfriend Mark and a friend, every Sunday. He's been talking about forgiveness, healing, taking care of himself. My boyfriend said he looks healthier, more confident, more present than he ever did when he was with her. He still hasn't reached out to Lena, but she texted me, angry, defensive, saying I betrayed her for telling my boyfriend, saying it's not my relationship, saying Mark should have fought for her instead of crying. I stared at the messages for 10 minutes because I didn't even know what to say. I don't know if I can stay friends with someone who cheats on a man who loves her, with his brother, and then with another guy, and feels absolutely no guilt about it. Someone who lies and manipulates and calls it fun. Someone who looks me in the eyes and thinks I should just accept it because we're best friends. And the part that hurts the most? I feel like I lost her long before anyone found out what she was doing. She's not the person I grew up with anymore. She's someone who runs from boredom straight into destruction, then tries to drag everyone down with her. This one is heavy because you can tell the writer is grieving two breakups at the same time. The relationship her friend destroyed, and the friendship that's slipping through her hands. Cheating is one thing. Doing it with the partner's brother, that's another level of selfishness. Adding a second guy on top of that and acting proud, that's someone who's chasing validation more than connection. What makes it worse is how the friend reacts. Not with guilt, not with remorse, but with entitlement. She expected silence, loyalty, protection. But you can't ask someone to protect you while you destroy people who love you. And the update about Mark, that says everything. The moment he stepped out of that relationship, he didn't collapse. He started healing. He built routine, community, faith, and probably realized the love he gave wasn't being returned. Sometimes losing someone is the only way to save yourself. The narrator isn't the asshole. She didn't betray her friend. She protected someone who deserved honesty. The real betrayal happened long before she opened her mouth, and it wasn't hers. This one was posted under, "Am I overreacting?" And the girl writing it is trying so hard to stay rational. even though literally everything in her situation screams that something is deeply wrong. I'm 25, female, and I've been with my boyfriend for almost 3 years. We've had our ups and downs, but nothing major. He's always been steady, loyal, and never the type to play games. We moved in together last year and I really thought that was it. Endgame. Marriage someday, kids eventually, the whole thing. But for the past few months, something's been off. Not dramatic, not obvious, just off. It started with his sleep. He talks in his sleep sometimes, nothing crazy. Usually random words or work stuff, but one night, around 3 a.m., he said a name. Not mine, and not anyone I know. He said, "Please don't go." Anna. Clear, soft, almost like begging. I froze. I didn't wake him. I didn't confront him. I just stared at him, trying to convince myself I misheard. The next morning I asked, casually, "Do you know anyone named Anna?" He shrugged and said no. I wanted to believe him. A week later it happened again. He whispered, "I miss you." Same name, same tone, same pain in his voice. That time I couldn't pretend anymore. I asked him again. He got weirdly defensive. "Why are you listening to me sleep?" he said. I told him it just woke me up. He brushed it off, blamed stress, said I was overthinking. But then other things started showing. He hides his phone more. He goes on late night drives to clear his head. When I walk into the room, he flips his screen instantly. He jumped when I asked him if everything was okay. I caught him doing something. 2 weeks ago, he came home smelling like a perfume I don't own. Not strong, faint, like someone hugged him or sat close. He said he walked past people at the mall. It didn't fit. And then last night, it escalated. I woke up because he was moving in his sleep. He wasn't talking. He was holding his pillow like he was hugging someone. He whispered, "I can't let you go again," and said her name a third time. My stomach dropped so hard I had to sit up. The kind of drop where your whole body goes cold. I didn't confront him. I didn't move. I just stared at the ceiling, realizing something I didn't want to admit. People don't dream about someone they don't know. People don't whisper with emotion unless it's real. People don't hide their phone, leave at night, and smell like someone else if everything is fine. This morning I checked his Instagram following. I don't snoop, I swear I don't. But something inside me told me to look. And there she was. A woman named Anna he followed recently. He liked 2 of her pictures. She liked one of his. Very subtle, easy to miss. But after hearing that name in his sleep, I couldn't ignore it. I clicked her profile. Pretty, soft smile. Posts poetry. Lives in our city. I don't know if they were something before me. I don't know if they're something now. I don't know if she's just someone who slipped back into his mind. But I'm scared. I'm scared I'm sleeping next to someone who's emotionally somewhere else. I'm scared he's in love with a memory or a person he never got closure with. I'm scared that while I'm thinking about our future, he's thinking about a past I never knew existed. I don't want to accuse him without proof. I don't want to lose him. But I also don't want to pretend this is normal. I don't know if I'm overreacting or if I've been ignoring the truth for longer than I want to admit. This doesn't read like overreacting. This reads like a woman who's connecting dots her boyfriend refuses to acknowledge. People don't call out the same name 3 times in their sleep unless there's emotional weight attached. The late night drives, the secrecy, the sudden Instagram activity, those aren't coincidences, they're patterns. And the saddest part is she's not angry. She's hurting quietly, trying to protect a relationship her partner might already be half out of. Sleep talking isn't a confession, but it's honesty without filters. And the emotion behind his words says more than he ever will while awake. And that wraps up today's stories. Thanks for staying with me through all of it. If you want to share your thoughts, drop them in the comments and leave timestamps for the moments that hit you the hardest. And if you're into videos like this, make sure to like the video and subscribe. I'll be back soon with more. Take care.